Guess who's back again?
It's Amy and Lockie of Couple Goals.
Darling, you've got some pasta sauce on your lip.
We did just eat dinner.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And if you're watching and you see me turning to blow my nose, today we were moving out of our apartments and we were gifted some rugs. And as I was picking up the rugs, I realised how bloody dusty they are. And I get the worst hay fever of all time.
You do.
And it is kicking my ass now. It really ruins the day.
It's
it feels like
so weird how
someone's jammed
how long
like
does
a
it
little
usually
flower up my
last?
nose and gone. I don't know. It's really weird. Like today I've been coughing a lot from it. And like I've been jamming. Does anyone do this where you jam, like you roll the two bits of the toilet paper or tissue paper up and jam it up your nose, almost like two plugs. That feels like the only relief I get. I would show you, but I've got a microphone in hand. But
goodness.
that's what has to be done. It was a hectic day. Sunday here. And as we promised from the last episode, we'd double up this week because that last episode got butchered because I had some background noise. So,
And we're going on tour tomorrow.
we do go back on tour tomorrow.
So we're going to get in the podcast while we still have a couch
Yeah.
and some
True.
nice lighting.
It's actually quite sad now. I was just messaged the family group and was like, should we all get our photos on the balcony again like we did when we first moved in? It's like the start of a chapter and now it's the end of a chapter because when we get back next Saturday and you play Franklin Theatre, George and Liam are buggering off the next morning.
Yeah, they won't be here.
So it's
we've
just
got to
me
get
and
our
the girl
family photo.
gang. For
Yeah, chapter is ending here in Nashville. You do start to get sentimental, but nothing lasts forever, and we're on to the next chapter. So whatever that might look like. I know we've got to go back to Australia to do the tour, and we're about to have a meeting with management to work out like what our future looks like over the next couple of months because we don't have plans after December, which is coming up pretty quickly. So
I've got plans.
you got plans.
Do you want to introduce my plans?
I think we did mention it before, but
I don't think we have here. We've said 58 to 58, but we haven't elaborated on it.
okay, I'll let
Amy's
you.
going to introduce it.
Oh,
Let's see how well she knows me.
Lachlan Stewart is embarking on 58, or just, what's it called? I've already screwed it up.
Marry a lady who is interested in your interests.
No,
I'm joking.
I just forgot the official name of it.
Yeah, it doesn't really have an official name, but
Oh,
58 to 58. Because originally, 58 marathons, 2 countries, 58 states over 58 days. So I thought I'd be fancy and go 58 to 58.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it's as brutal as it sounds. Lockie has decided to embark on a challenge that nobody in the whole world has ever done.
It is a world first, ladies and gentlemen.
He will be running
58 marathons, so
in 58 days.
42.2 kilometers or 26.2 miles, I think, every day for 58 days while traveling the 50 states of America, heading to Hawaii, and then the 8 states and territories of Australia.
Wowee.
So there will be ways that you guys can get involved as well, like to do your own 58-day challenge. It doesn't need to be marathons, obviously, but you could be doing like 1 kilometer for 58 days straight or something like that. And I'll share more about that later. But so I'll be doing that from January 21st to March 21st.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'm going to have to join in for some of it. I'm not going to be doing marathons.
Which one are you going to do?
Look, I really want to go to Alaska.
That's where we're starting, so that could be cool.
Yeah, but it depends on our plans and what we're doing, but I'd love to be there for the start. And then maybe like halfway when you're feeling a bit rough, you know?
I'd say I'll be feeling a bit rough about 7 days in. Or probably 2 days in. But it should be fun. What else did we do? Oh, hold on. You had a hens party yesterday.
Yes, Bachelorette.
What? Oh, sorry. Is that Bachelorette hens? They're the same thing.
It's Bachelorette here and hens in Australia. But yeah, it was actually Emma's Bachelorette party. My sister. We've kind of done things a bit differently to what the usual bride would do. Emma, I'm sure if you follow me, you would have seen she got married earlier this year in March. And that's because her and Liam had always planned to get married in Mexico. And they started planning the wedding, and then they realized that a few key family members wouldn't be able to travel all that way to Mexico. So grandparents, and unfortunately Liam's dad suffers from dementia. So it was really important for him to be involved. So they got married in Australia, and also for legal reasons. So you have to officially be married in Australia.
Yeah, it's not like an official wedding if you get married in Mexico. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't stand of the
It's not lawfully
court of law.
recognised.
Yeah.
Right.
Lord of Court.
Lord of Court.
Court of Law, sorry.
Yeah, so that's why they had their elopement in Australia earlier in the year.
Which was
and
awesome fun as well.
It was awesome. And actually, it was pretty amazing because, unfortunately, Liam's grandma passed away pretty quickly after the wedding.
Yeah, I think like 2 days later she was diagnosed with cancer, which is sad.
Yeah, no, like she had a great time at the wedding. She wasn't sick. She had a really good time. And unfortunately, after the wedding, she fell ill to pancreatic cancer. And we're just really grateful that we had that special time with her. But yeah, Emma didn't get to celebrate a hen's party or any of that stuff before her wedding. So we're doing it now. And because we've made so many good girlfriends here in Nashville who are also coming to the wedding, they were feeling left out that we were doing a hens in Brisbane, in Queensland. So I was like, okay, let's do a lunch with all our girlfriends in Nashville before we head back to Australia for a while. It's just like an excuse to get to catch up. But then,
Get crunk.
one thing leads to another, and someone was like, oh, can I do anything? Can I bring a cake, or let's like dress up? And like it just goes, and it just like builds into this whole thing. So basically it's just like two full on hens, and I'm glad we did it because we had so much fun. Nashville is the hens capital of the world. So
It is indeed.
every day of the week there's hens parties down on Broadway there, and there's party buses, and I've always wanted to experience the party bus. And I'm so glad we did
Well,
yesterday.
lift the lid on it. What happens on the party bus?
Stays on the party bus.
Really?
No, we went on the big drag bus, it's called. And they pretty much just drive you around Nashville. And then there's two drag queens on board who do show. You play games. You dance. You yell out of the windows to the passerby.
It sounds like just being hooligans.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Delinquents. That's what we would not tolerate in Brisbane.
When I'm on the street and I see people in the party buses, I'm like, oh, delinquents.
And then when it's you?
When it's me, it's fine.
It's funny how that works. When you're the person doing it, it's always fun. But then when you're not, you're like, you're so annoying. Stop it.
Yeah.
It's weird how that works.
Uh,
And Emma, well,
yeah, she definitely had a good time.
she was one of the most intoxicated individuals I've seen in my 33 years on this
my
planet.
God. Okay, one thing about America and Nashville in particular is they free pour the drinks. So if you buy a vodka soda, you don't
It's
really
like
know how much
98% vodka.
You don't know how much vodka's going. They just like tip the bottle up and they're like, woo. And then, because in Australia it's very regulated and it's like one shot is one.
Yeah, they have like a nip, which is like 30 mils or something.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
one drink is one shot. But that's just not the case here. So I learned our lesson the hard way yesterday.
Oh, yeah. And us gentlemen, being gentlemen, as I will say again, myself, George, Liam, obviously he's the buck or the stag, as they call it in maybe America and the UK.
Yeah, they call it something else here.
Yeah. We decided we would not drink and just go to the college football,
Fun.
which was a cool experience. Like, college football here is massive. Like, there would have been 30 to 40,000 people, and this is a small game, Vanderbilt versus a school from near Mississippi. It was crazy when we watched them walk out, like the bands come out, like the drum line, which doing their thing, and then there's like, it was National Twirl Day, so like twirl a stick. So I thought I was like half watching
There's a
Cirque
day
du
for
Soleil.
everything.
I know, it's freaking unbelievable. So we're watching these twirlers do their thing, and next minute the away team comes in, which was like Alcorn or somewhere, and they look like they had a lot of players. So let's say they had like 30 players. I don't know how many are meant to be on a American football team, but a lot. And we're like, whoa, that's a lot of players. And then next minute, Vanderbilt runs out, and it was, as George said, it's like they pushed Control V like 10 times. Their team would have been like 200 people. It
Wow.
literally looked like ants all over the field.
Why were there so many?
Well, apparently when you got more money, you can have more players and you have more specialized positions or something.
Oh, did they win? Vanderbilt?
They smoked them. Yeah, it was like it
Nice.
was hard to watch. You like look at that school and you're like, oh, it's a shame because they literally made 30 yards the whole game, which is like 28 meters.
Jeez.
That's not much when you're trying to score touchdowns.
Mm.
But nonetheless, we did that. We got a pizza and then we came home to you ladies.
Wasn't a late one for us,
No, thankfully.
but yeah, it's tour tomorrow. We've got
Sorry about my nose, everyone.
we're going up to Columbus, Ohio, and then we're going to Chicago, and then we're going to where's after that? Indianapolis. And then we've got Franklin Theatre here in Nashville, or outside of Nashville. And then
Back to, we're going to Hawaii.
we're going to Hawaii.
That'll
I'm
be
so excited for
We'll
Hawaii.
talk about that. We'll be able to sneak in another episode before we head to Hawaii. So
For
let's
sure.
not jump the
We
gun
won't
there.
jump ahead, but looking forward to getting back on the road. We've got a few shows, but it's literally only 6 days or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
it's nice. Like it's going to be a short, sharp trip, not as much driving. So I'm pretty pumped for it.
Me too. I'm excited.
very tired. Like we haven't had any day off because we were packing all. Like
Yeah.
today we woke up, and then it was pretty much like all of a sudden we're packing.
Yeah, because we have a really good friend here, and she sold her house in LA, but she lives in Nashville, and she's like, "Oh, I've got all this furniture. I don't know what to do with.
Yeah, beds,
Do
chairs.
you want to inherit
bookshelves.
it?" She's like, "Do you guys want it?" And we're like, yes," because we're moving into a house after these apartments. So, but that's only after we come back from
Yeah.
Australia. So we're like, okay, if we
Got
want to take
another-
this stuff, she wants to get rid of it today. We had to organize our a storage unit,
And
which is
another U-Haul truck.
conveniently another U-Haul truck, which is conveniently on our street. So we we decided that we were going to pack up the majority of our apartment today, and thank
I'm
goodness.
glad that's
'cause-
done, but
Yeah.
I would have preferred to spend my Sunday sitting on my ass watching football
Me too.
or like doing anything else. But anyway, it's done, so that's great news. And now we probably don't have too much left. I'm just looking around the apartment. There's a few boxes on the floor, a bit of cutlery, and that's
This-
that. The
podcasting stuff.
the podcasting stuff, which we will leave
Lamps.
out to the very last minute because obviously we want to bang out.
A lot of our furniture is hired, like this couch we're sitting on, so we don't have to worry about that.
I'm pretty excited to get back to Oz to have the other headphones.
Oh
I
yeah,
love them.
forgot about those. Are you gonna
They're
bring
the
them back
best.
with us when we come back?
Maybe. I
Maybe.
probably should because then we can have guests on because we need 4 headsets.
That'd be good. Like we met so many cool people here, and I think that is something.
think
that
we will
should
do
get
that.
into.
I wonder when. Anyway, we'll work that out. We got some Aussie friends that we should get on as well, like Sam and
Mm-hmm.
all of that, which will be fun.
That's a great idea.
Do you have a Reddit for us today? What's going on?
I do. Okay, let me get it up. Can you hear that siren? I will not miss those sirens.
Yeah, I definitely will not miss those signs. We were running the track yesterday, Liam and I, and we heard gunshots, and we're like, isn't it weird that hearing gunshots is now normal?
Yeah.
Like, that's
You hear them all the
fucking
time.
mind-blowing. You're just like, did someone actually just get shot then, or is it just like hooligans, like, driving around shooting into the sky?
I'd prefer not to know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Hit us.
The question is, am I overreacting? This is in Reddit. This is not me reading.
Well,
I have noticed that my husband has this mindset deep in his head that women should do all the housework, including serving him coffee in the morning. Even don't
I feel
say
like
a
this
word.
is I wrote it, but I've just flipped the script.
No.
Like Amy's like,
It
bring
gets
me
worse.
coffee in the. All right, keep going.
That's just a nice thing you do out of the generosity of
All
your
right,
heart.
well, let's continue the story and
Okay.
we'll reflect.
Coffee in the morning. Even though we are pretty much equal, we both work and pay bills, but he doesn't admit it and hides it most of the time. So I only had this realization 3 years ago. At first, I was confused because I would share chores for the both of us when I can. Sorry, this is written kind of poorly. When I can, but he would only do it for himself. And when I asked, he would have a strong reaction, like raising his voice. One time I was very busy and forgot to brew him coffee, and he was so mad that he kicked our trash can very hard and grabbed my shoulders and yelled, "Why did you do that?"
Really?
Psycho.
What an asshole.
I was honestly so scared that I ran to the balcony so people could see me. He had gotten better in terms of sharing chores and managing his temper, but now he has turned into a gaslight turned into gaslighting, and he also explodes. He would have a million excuses not to do the dishes or put the trash into the trash can. And when I asked him, he would say that I just love to nag and would slam random things just to tell me not to tell him what to do. It has gotten to the point where I don't know what's the best way to live with him. I don't want to constantly pick up for someone else or live in a messy home. I also don't want to keep fighting. I thought about separating, but I'm not sure if I'm overreacting. Sorry for the long vent. I can't say these things to my mum or our friends because they're also overlapped. So I turn here for any advice.
Wow.
What do you think, Lucky?
I would love to hear from you first.
I think that her husband is physically and verbally abusive.
I agree.
And she should leave. Although it's easier said than done. Leaving an abusive relationship.
Especially when you can't talk to your family about it.
Why? I
that
wonder
raises
why.
so many questions for me. Like
maybe she's been isolated as well without even realizing it.
Because that tends to happen in
DV.
manipulative relationships. You cut off all of that. So that's very interesting. But I think if someone's kicking, like you're dating a big boy. If he's having a tantrum
Toddler.
like that, he's a big boy and probably
he needs counselling.
yeah.
at the
And
very
you don't want
least.
to be mothering someone. Like he needs to work on his shit. And
I would make plans to leave. Make sure that you're going to be financially secure. Make sure you're going to be safe and leave. But
yeah,
if
that's
you can't
obviously
do that,
an aerial view. There's so many things that could be going on. So if anyone's listening that's in that situation, obviously every situation's so unique, but I would hope that there's an opportunity for you to get help and build a little plan to get out of there because it doesn't sound healthy.
no, at the very least, I would suggest counselling, marriage counselling. Maybe the both of you could go, even though he's clearly the one that needs help. Yeah, luckily I was reading the comments and everyone was supporting her and giving her advice of what to do. So, yeah. Just a reminder that nobody needs to put up with that crap.
I wonder what his buddies are like. Like, his friends seeing that, like when they're hanging out at the pub or wherever they're hanging out, or how is he talking about the relationship and are they pulling him up on things? Because I think that's a big thing as well that happens on the flip side, which people don't talk about too much, is if any of you, this is to the blokes who listen, I hope there's some dudes that listen, but if you've got buddies who are bad-mouthing their partners or wives or whatever in front of you, there's a difference between venting and just being an absolute prick. And I feel that if you're listening to this podcast or if you're just got half a brain cell, you would hopefully call them out on that and raise the standard.
Yeah.
Because if it's happening there, it's definitely happening at home. So pull them up on that. Because some people, unfortunately, are just not aware. Like they'll talk and act in a way, and once again, they're so...
They think it's normal.
Yeah, they think it's normal because
in their family.
Yeah, it's their normal, which is unfortunate, but that's the reality. So sometimes people need people in their life to pull them up on things. We've all had it happen in our own ways with various things that we didn't realize was, a bad habit or a bad inappropriate behavior, but we've done it. It's like, I hope you guys call out Amy for always making me make her coffee in the morning. And that's just a bad habit.
I didn't know you didn't like doing it. I thought you liked it.
I don't not like doing it, but after reading that letter where it's like, she expects coffee, I'm like, interesting.
Lucky I don't kick in any trash cans and you can't do it.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that's that.
Yeah, we're going to leave it there. I've got to get on this meeting and figure out what my
future
future holds.
Yeah, I'm going to hopefully get my nose sorted.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here again this week. We hope you, as always, are enjoying the episodes. Hit us with questions. Drop into the DMs on Instagram, or if you go to the Microsoft form or Google form that is attached on our Instagram page, you can leave some questions there. I was reading the other day, we had like 17 questions, so...
Awesome.
Make sure you get involved in that, and we'll be doing another episode every week until we go on another break while I'm running.
Yeah.
Cool. Righto, team.
All right. Hooroo.